thanks Berserker's Domain for giving me the demo early. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, this weapon is good. My name is Evil Troy and today we'll talk about Berserker's Domain SSG, aka the Super Shotgun. Berserker's Domain is a fast-paced, kinda silly, totally over-the-top FPS game that references a lot of old school shooters, like Quake and Unreal Tournament. But this game is also a roguelite, which has mechanics like death is an end of a run, and every run is random. Like even the weapons you get are random during a run. And talking about weapons, let's talk about the SSG, and its stats, design, sounds, and feeling. I know I said it in a different order, but I do not care. Normally I will also talk about the history and story, but the game is not released, and as of the release of this video, only a demo is available. So let's immediately go to the stats. So I will immediately go through the points. This super shotgun destroys everything. The damage is extremely high, and with upgrades, which I will talk soon about, the damage can be even increased beyond your wildest imagination. I think it's not as crazy as Postal 2's shotgun, but damn it will get close. Compared to Postal 2's shot off, is that this weapon has headshot damage, and this can be upgraded with permanent upgrades. And to be honest, that's just the icing on top of your favorite cake. And the other stats are not bad though. Like you have the frame rate / reload, which is slow, but not really as slow that I call it a debuff. Now let's talk about the range. And this might be the only small downside. The super shotgun is perfect for close range, and sometimes mid-range against weak enemies, but for long range it's just terrible. It's just better to throw the weapon than to shoot it. But there's a big exception, and that's the weapon's alt fire, which I will talk about soon. But yeah, perfect for close range. And let's talk about the ammo, and it has infinite ammo. I'm not kidding, it has infinite ammo. Now let's talk about the alt fire. So do you like the Scorpion from Mortal Kombat and here?
Get over here!
Well, this alt fire is a grappling hook that pulls enemies towards you. And not even enemies, also barrels. And you can punch the barrels and yeet them at enemies. This is really fun to do. And if you don't have a barrel, well, grabbing an enemy and pull them towards you and shoot them with the super shotgun gives the same amount of dopamine. And the best thing is, this alt fire barely has any cooldown, so you can just spam it at your health's content. And now the last thing I will talk about, and it's the upgrades. You have permanent and temporary weapon upgrades. The permanent one that this one has is the headshot upgrade, which I said is just the icing on the cake. But the temporary upgrades that you get during your run, those upgrades are really changing this weapon. So every upgrade, except the last one, will be summed up like this. Do you want more barrels? Yes? Well, here's an upgrade to add one more barrel to your weapon. So you can add 2 more barrels on the shotgun, and this will make the damage go insane. Also, there's a final upgrade which I didn't test it because you need an upgrade for a different item, and that item is the potion of quad damage. It's already insane that there's a quad damage in a bottle, but combining it with the super shotgun is insane. Like the developers just wanted to make the super shotgun OP. Let's talk about the feeling and usability. So the feeling is really easy to describe. It's just a full-on power trip that's even more powerful than every shotgun I reviewed. And I'm only talking about the base weapons. You even get a better trip with upgrades. Like after the upgrades I look at the damage numbers and thinking, damn, I get those numbers from only that shot? But how much are you using this weapon? I will say most of the time, not all the time. And that has to do with the lack of range. And one enemy that I think has some resistance towards it, I'm talking about the eyeball enemy. It's a flying eyeball that shoots rockets, and to be honest, he is difficult to kill. But I feel, and I saw, during one of my fights that the numbers were really low. Maybe a resistance against it, or it might be an early access glitch. But having an enemy resistance against the super shotgun is a wise thing because this super shotgun destroys everything. Okay, let's look at the design. It's simple, but that's not a bad thing. It fits perfectly to the game, and I would say if there's more detail to this weapon, it might actually hurt the shotgun. One detail I love is the duct tape on the super shotgun. Like, it really looks goofy and says, oh, it's almost breaking apart. Which is kind of funny if you think about it. But there's also one detail that I don't like, and that's the grappling hook. Every time I use it and I look at the chains, it feels really off. This is probably a personal issue because it doesn't look bad, it just feels off. So let's talk about the sounds, and I will say, I really love the sounds, but there's a big catch on it. So most of the time you just shoot and the sounds are really good and having a punch. But sometimes the sounds mixing goes haywire and it actually destroys your ears. I really hope that will be fixed soon, because sometimes when that happens I just stop playing for a couple seconds and take a break. It's sometimes that painful. So this is actually the preview. It is a great weapon that doesn't really have any downsides. I only hope that the sound mixing might be fixed before release. I won't give it a rating yet because it's a preview and people are still working on the game. I will give a dedicated review when the game is finished. And I will say, this shotgun is really good to use. So finally, if you like what you see in the background and want to play the game has a demo right now and I put a link to the description. If you like roguelites and FPS games, I guarantee you would really like this game. And finally, I want to thank the people of Berserker's Domain for giving me an early access review code. I'm really grateful towards it. And thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time.